Hey there, I am Mohammed Rafe. Basically, in this course, I will go through the whole Python and just stick with me and please trust me. If you want to go with data science as your career or as a data analyst or machine learning engineer, so this course will be helpful for you to begin. So just stick with me and just let's get started. So let's start with the numbers. 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. You can divide the numbers. So this is a divide operator. So you can also do something like this. So by doing this, what will happen is it will convert the output to the previous number. So basically the output is 0.6. So it will convert to the previous number from this floating number. So it would be 0. So it would it's a floating divider, and you can also multiply something like this. And we did addition, yes, subtraction is left, so we can also subtract the numbers here. And also we can use these, for example, for the operations. Now let's divide here, and here we do some subtraction here. So basically, this and this will get dissolved first, and in the end, these both will be divided. So we get we got the result here. And also we can use a quotient here, quotient or percentage. Sorry, percentage here. So 6 modulus 2, so it will return 0. So basically, it returns a reminder. So for example, 9 divided by 9 modulus 2, it will return 1 because 2 8s are 9. So 9 minus 8, 1. So we got the remainder here. So it's useful when we find the even numbers. So it's useful in that case. So let me just quickly demonstrate this. If for I in range 0 to 10, so we want to find even numbers between 0 to 10, but please remember it's exclusive. So let's uh, I divided by if I modulus 2 is equal to 0, so it's mean it's an even number, otherwise it's a odd number. It's a odd number. So let's run this. Yes, so we can see first time we get even, or in order to brief more, we can also print the number. So we can see 0 is even, 2 is even, 4 is even, 6 is even, and 8 is even. So we will now look into the truthy and falsy values. So first of all, just look into the falsy value. So I will going to use bool function. So this function takes any data type, and then it will convert to true or false. Okay. So basically, we will first look at the falsy value. So I'm going to pass 0. Let's run this. So it's a falsy value, and let's check 0.0. It's also a falsy value, and let's have a look at empty string. It's also a falsy value. Let's look at the list. So it's also a falsy value. So please note that these are all empty. All right. So let's have a look at sets or dictionaries. So it's also our falsy values. Let's look at tuples. So it's all our falsy values, and everything else is a truthy value. Just like we can have a look at number, we can look at a string, we can look at some sets, so something like this. So these are all truthy values except those which I mention here. Now let's have a look at some more operations. So basically we can add strings together, something like this. We can add lists together, something like this. But we can also add two tuples. All right. So we can't add two sets. So basically these are the sets and we can't add to this. Python will gonna give me error. All right. So basically if I add some number to string, it would give me an error. If I add some floating point, it would also give me error. So, but if I divide these numbers, sorry, multiply these numbers by, for example, 2, so it will basically double that string. So we can see it doubled that string. All right. And also in case of lists, um, so in case of lists, we can also multiply by 2. We can get the result here. It also double the list in the output. All right. We can also add list to list, something like this. So it will add 2 to 3 3 to this. And at last, if we talk about tuples, we can also add to tuples the number also. We can also we can also add multiply tuples by some number, something like this. And also if we check, for example, if we have something like this, we can also do 90 in, for example, if 90 is present in this list, we can also do same for tuples. For example, 909 in this. No, we can't do this for tuples. All right. Also, I want to mention one thing. So we can see here. So whenever we were adding or multiplicating with different data types, we were like just duplicating that. So in case of list, we can see here we are duplicating this. In case of this, we are duplicating this. For example, if we like multiply the strings, we can also multiply strings. So it will like our duplicate. So for example, if we multiply by 2, you can see we are duplicating this. But in case of tuple, we are basically adding to the number instead appending to the tuple. So basically, if we do 90 later, so now it will give error. All right. So for example, if we have only one integer in tuple, we can then do this operation of addition with integer. Otherwise, it will give error. So now let's have a look at the types. So there's a function with the name type. We can here give, for example, some variable. So for example, 1 2 here we can check the variable type. So it will give its integer. So we can do for string. So it will give that this is string. So instead of like passing variable, we just pass directly to type. So we can see the floating number, it's float. We can see some list, it would be a list. We can do some none type, it would be a none, right? So we can also do some tuples, it's a type of tuple. If we pass that, so sorry, dict, so it's a dict. So for example, if we pass that, in order to pass that, we need to like mention one of the integer or whatever. So it's now set. So I missed one thing, and that's is instance function. So basically, we can check if um, if this string is an instance of str. Sorry, is instance instance? Yes. So we can check like if the string is an instance of str. For example, if the string is a string. So if is instance of, we can also string, we can also pass a tuple here in which we can mention different types, set or int. So basically we haven't, let me convert this set to str. So yes, so for example, if this data will be of any of these, so it will like give true, otherwise it will give false. So we can also is instance. You can also check Boolean or whatever value you pass here, what kind of data you pass here. You can pass here in order to check the type. So for example, you can pass if it is bool, yeah, so it's a bool. It's a Boolean value. So now let's have a look at is an operator. So we can like do something like this. For example, if one is so if one in the list, uh, if it's in the list, we are going to print 34 or example true boolean. So it's mean one is not in the list. That's why it's not printed the true. So if for example if one is going to be in list, it would be print true. Okay, all right. So for example, we can also check if none is none, something like that. Uh, yes, it's printed 23. If so, let's have a comparison between string. If str is str, let's have a look what happens here. Let's print whatever. Here we have a syntax error. It's saying syntax one is with the literal. Did you mean? Okay, so we can't like do this here. We have to look apply here. Okay, we can maybe also look at tuples. Let's check in. For example, if 9 is in tuple or not. Let's do this with operators. Yes, 9 in tuple. Okay, and maybe we can't do this with sets. Let's have a try quickly. Yes, we can do this with sets. And if we, for example, don't have number inside, then let's have a look what happens here. 90 or yes. So okay. So for example, so it means we can do this with sets, tuples, lists. Okay, we can apply this in operator, and we can also do is operator. Like I think we can like just do this with one. So it's basically for a learning purpose. You try your own things, something like this. So it would give you like some more information or knowledge. So it's a best practice to like practice on your own. So let's have a look for the dictionary quickly. If we can do this in dictionary, if 2323 is in dictionary, let's have a look. No, it's not in dictionary. So, for example, maybe it was checking a key. So let me declare a key with 2323 and here value some value. So it would give you a false because we are comparison integer with string. So let's convert this to string. Maybe then it will work. Yes, it's working. So for example, so it's mean like that it was checking this to the keys here in the dictionary. So it works with the dictionary well. So these are the operators which works with the different data types. So guys, now let's look at the functions. So we define the functions with the def keyword here, and here we will like write the function name at numbers. Here we will like define our parameters. For example, for now A, B, C, and D. And for example, if you are defining all of these parameters, so it's mean you must have to provide all of these parameters in the function. Just return um, A plus B plus C plus D. Now let's call this function by writing the function name and passing the parameters. So for example, if I don't pass any parameter like D, so for now, first of all, let's run this function. It's ran successfully. So in second case, for example, if I remove this param from here, and sorry for this, and I remove this also from here, and so for example, if I'm adding this, and we have now four params, but we are returning the three params, it would find well now. All right, but for example, if like I don't pass 7, then it would give me error. Okay, so it's saying like add numbers missing one required positional argument. So if we like define these arguments in this way, so it's like demanding for all the arguments. If we would not pass any of these, it would throw an error. So in next example, we can say if, for example, if we don't pass D a value, so by default the value would be none for the D. So when so now it would not give us error. So you can see it is not giving error now. So this is the case. So we can also like functions and then we like C is equal also none, and you can ask a question like how we can give A, B, and D value instead of C, because now you are saying like first value will go to the first, second is going to second, and third is going to third, respectively. So if I want to like skip this one and want to give this one value, then how I can do it? So first of all, you have to give none which you want to skip, because in case of if you are not giving any value, so the Python will take none value for that. So 1, 2, 3. So for example, A we will give A 1 to A, 2 to B, and D to 4. So for example, we now need to update the function. So for example, we can apply condition here is if C is none, or you can also do this double operator like this. All right. So if C is none, then print A plus B plus D. Otherwise, print all of the numbers. Let me just write A plus B plus C plus D. All right, let's run this function. Okay, there's a syntax error here. Expected an identical block after else. What is wrong here? Um, Statement on 9.123. Okay, okay, okay. So we will like to give space here. Now it's good. So we can see print here. It's printing the 7 because 4 plus 2 plus 1 it's equal to 7. And here in this function, when we call this function, this code is running here, and it's not going to this one because C is none in our case because we are not passing a C value. So if C is none, so we are printing this. So that's why it's printing this one, and you can see the 7 here. That's why. So this is a way like you can write your functions, and it's like very important to know this one behavior of functions here. Like you can't pass, you can or you can't pass to some params, or you can pass none or whatever. You can also pass a default value to A. For example, if someone don't pass some value to the param, so it would default it would take 23, and if someone don't pass to B, so it would take 90. So it's simple as that. So now let's have a look at the loops. So if we have a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 90, we can use for loops here for I in LIS. So we can print here I. So one by one, all of these items inside the list will come to this variable, and we are printing here this. So you can see we can like loop from this. Here it's an iteratable item. Let's have a look for tuples if we can like loop from this for I in A. Oh, sorry, print I. We can also loop from tuples. We can also maybe from sets. Let's have a look at sets. Yes, we can loop from the sets. Print I. Yes, we can also loop from the sets, tuples, and lists. All right. So we can also use while loop while I is not equal to the length of maybe. First of all, let's define the list here. 1, 2, 3, something like this. length of a. So we will like increment to this, and also print a of I. Here we will like to find the I equals 0. Um, we have to put this above, and here length, it's not equal to length. So if yes, now it will work, because we were planting in last, and it was skipping the 0 first, and then in the end it was like out of the range. So we can use the while loops here, for loops, and there are two types of loops we can use in Python. Now guys, let's have a look at indexing and slicing in Python. So for example, first let's define any string here. I am Muhammad Rafe. So if I want to grab Muhammad Rafe, so for example, if like I want to grab by, so basically index starts with 0. So in Python and every language, index starts with 0. Okay, and in Python especially, you can also index from the end, and from if you want to start with end, so index will start from -1. For example, if let's start with 0, so it will like grab I here, and if we like print, if we want to grab, for example, Muhammad Rafe, so how we will grab that? So let's count the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will start from 5, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18, 19. So we will do 19, because 19 is exclusive. So basically it's grabbing from 5 to 18, and it would not go to the 19. So we can see how we can like index or slicing. Do slicing here, and we can also define the list. Whatever number here we can insert, and after creating a list, we can also do same like here. If we want to grab from end, we can just like do this. You can see if I give -1, it grabs this one. If I give um, -2 to -4, then just pause the video and like think what will happen here. So basically we are grabbing -1, -2 to -4, -3, -4. Would it work? No, it would not work, because it doesn't work in this direction. So for example, if you want -1, -2, if you want these two integers, you have to like write in this right to the right direction. You have to write to the right direction instead in the left direction. So we are now doing in left direction. In what case, like we can say -2, we are going to -2 to -4. So, but it not works in Python. So now I will do this. I am getting the empty array. So if I want to actually grab that, I will like do this -4 to -2. Now I can grab that 4 and 5. All right. So this is how uh, we can like grab the elements. And also, for example, if I want to grab all of the elements from starting from the 3, so I will like count index is 0, 1, 2. So the index of 3 is 2. So I will like 2 here, and just do this. So what I'm saying is like start with 2 and go to the end. And for example, if I want to like go with, for example, if I want to like start from 4 and go to 1, if I want to like something like this, so what I will do is I will find the index of 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yes, 3 is the index of 4s. So we will like 3, and we will just do like this, and it will like grab all of this here. So if you want to include 4 too, so you need to give here 4 if you want to include 4 too. So this is how indexing works in Python. Okay, so now uh, let's have a look at the strings. If I'm defining some strings, Rafe, so let's multiply this string 3 times, so it's printing Rafe, Rafe, Rafe. And we can also apply the split function on it. Empty separator, maybe like this, yes. So it's basically splits the string on the space by default. If I like give space here, it will split on the space. But for now, there is no space in the string, so that's why it's not working here. So guys, I just wrote a list here. So now let's grab this string here. So let's start. So first of all, we need to check. So first of all, stop this video and you can try your own. It's very simple. You just need to remember like the index starts with 0 in Python. Okay. So we can start from left side first of all. So basically we need to grab this list because this one is in this list. All right. So what is the index of this list? So let's calculate 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 is the index of this list. So yes, when I like run this, you can see I grabbed this whole string here. Sorry, list here, this whole list here. So now grab, now we can see what is the index of this one list here inside this outer list. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 is the index of this list. All right. So let's like write a 3 here and let's run this. Yes, we successfully grabbed this list. And now in order to reach this one, this one is in this list, so let's grab this one list first. So it's 0 1, it's on the index 1, so let's write index 1. Now let's run this. Now we have two values in this list and we just write 0 1. So now then again 1. So now we have a grab me, so instead of list we just grab the string, and now grab me is on the 0 index in the list. All right, so we now write 0 here, and yeah, successfully. And we can also do -1 here because it's it's the same. Let me tell you why. So if you start from the left side, so it will start from the 0 index. If you want to grab from right side, it will start from -1, -1 index. And as there is only one item, so we can just do -1 here. So now let's start with some operations inside the list. Define a list here. Um, Maybe with strings, maybe with tuples, maybe with some sets. Okay. So now just append any item here. 90. It would append to the end of list, and also you can also remove the last item. Like let's first like print this item list, so you can see 90 here in the list. So we can also pop from the list dot pop. Sorry, it's not 0, it's closing parenthesis. Now let's start list. Now after printing the list, you can see it removed the last item from the array list. Guys, I encourage you to like stop the video and go to internet, and you can like check some other functions related to list sets and everything else. So it would like if you just go to internet and write here something all the list function functions in Python. So by doing this, you can see the website here, W3 School. Just go to this and you can see a lot of functions here, and you can try these all the functions, and it's like nothing difficult to use these functions. Let me tell you. So for example, if we want to sort, so uh, just stick with me. Like if we have a string 5 6, so it would like sort the function. Let's try this. function on the list, and it will sort in ascending order. So if we like assign to it to B and call a B here. Okay, sorry. Basically, it's mutate the functions here. So we can also see it, no, there is nothing such explanation here. We can see here if we I like print a, you can see it's this function mutated the list, and then you can see we can see a what you say is a sorted list. So for example, you can also use any other function. So for example, if you want to see explanation of how to use sort, you can see a sort function here. Reverse, if you for example want to reverse, you can just simply pass here to true, and here you can see it this it sorted the error in it sorted the list in the descending order. So now let's go to the reverse function here. So what reverse do? Uh, so basically it reverses the list. Let me show you. Uh, A is equal to string here some a dot reverse. Now let's print a. You can see it reversed the string, list. Um, so basically, if I write here some number or some tuple, it will just reverse this string. So it's simple as that. So just go through all of these functions here. You can also remove. You need to like give here the value. It will remove from the list, and also you can any type. You can give here any type. So it will remove that item from the list. Pop, I just showed you this one. You can also use insert. It would insert any at any like specific index. Let me show you. Um, 1 2 3 example. Now if we look at the list, we have a 1 2 3 1 to 4. I want to like insert some item in, like if I want to insert at index 1 and I want to insert 90 at index 1, so you will see output like 192 and 4. Let's see, you can see 192 and 4. So it's simple as that. So there are many lot of functions here. So if we go to index 1, so what it will do, what is the position of the, okay, so you will like return the value of array here, and it will return you an index of that value in that array. This is extend function, this is a count, returns the number of elements with a specified value. So it would copy the list. So for example, let me show you one thing. If like you declared some list here, and just print this list here, and for example, if you assign this list to B, and then you return enter the B. So for example, if you change the B to, for example, if you change in B, for example, if you want to change 0 index value with 40, so let's have a list of B. So we change the B successfully. Now let's have a look at A, and we will see that it impacted the A too, because by doing this we were passing the reference to the B. So for example, we are if we pass the value, so by this way we pass the value to B. So basically there are two pointers for this array. So try to understand, there are two pointers for this array. So if we try to change from B or A, it would impact, and it would like change the one element or one list behind the scenes. So this is one thing you need to like you need to know related to these things. So for example, if you want to like, let's declare A again, and this one. Okay, so now if you want to assign to B, you can use a dot copy function we just saw here. You can see we just saw here copy function. So you can copy here. So if you now change B now, so it will not mutate the original array. You can see it not changed now. If you look at B, so you can see it's changed, but A is not changed, because you copied that array and both references, and now there is a no um like concept of concept there's no like both separate references. So that's why by changing the B now doesn't impact on A here in this case because we copied that array. Okay, and you can also create, for example, if you have a uh, array here, you can also assign B in this way. Like you can also use this operator here. It would also you can also like create array in this way. It's a separate operator, and what it does, it will take this array and all of these items inside this array will pass through this new list. All right, we can also do this with tuples. Let's try with tuple. So here's a tuple here, and for example, um, yes, I want to like create a tuple inside p variable, and here let's pass spread operator b. Now let's try if this works. No, it's not works in this case. So let's try maybe with sets. If these works with sets, 1 2 3 4, just create A and A. Maybe it worked with sets. Yes, it worked with sets, but it doesn't work with tuples. All right. So we can see like it works with lists, it works with sets, but it doesn't work with tuples. So to be honest, I learn myself like when I teach you guys. So it would benefit me more in this case. But this is how we can like use the functions here, and we can like um learn from these websites. So there's also a append function here, which basically appends at maybe some add an element to the append. Okay, so basically it appends at the last. I just showed you guys this. So these are all the functions on the list, and you can also like uh, write tuple here. You can also check for tuple sets. All right. You can also check for sets here. You can see sets here, all the functions on sets. Like if you want to add to the sets, you can use add, clear, copy. There are so many functions here you can discover from here. If you want to like check for dictionaries, you can check from here. You can go to simply W3 school here, and you can check for all of the dictionary methods. So basically, it's very crucial, and I think it's very important to know all of this stuff. And internet is full of these things. So if someone like make friends, make or do friendship with internet, like he grabs or he gains a lot of experience and knowledge. Um, Let me show you one thing more to you guys. Let's go to chat gpt and also like make your Twitter a chat GPT. Here you can see I search every day, and it's like it's my friend. So basically you can write here, write all the functions of list Python. Here it will like write you all of the functions. So basically just go and use these websites, especially ChatGPT, and it will like give you all of these functions, and it will also can give you example in code. Uh, Give me example. Do also do code too. So it will like write a code for all of these functions too. So basically, it's very useful, and go ahead and use this one for your purpose. You can see here it's like listing all of the append. You can use append in this way, you can use extend in this way, insert an element and specific index, return an element. You can also do pop, find the index of an element, occurrences if you want to like occurrences how many times it occurred. So you can also do something like this. You can like sort this, reverse, copy, clear, length. So it's very useful. So just guys, uh, use this website ChatGPT. So now let's have a look at dictionaries. Basically, in dictionaries we can see key value pairs. Dictionary in dictionaries we it contains a key value. So let's use some dictionary here. It's a curly bracket, and here you can make a key or string, integer, whatever. So for example, now create a string, a number, uh, a key of a number, and a value or number two. So we declare a dictionary here, and so let's declare some useful history here instead of uh, redundant. Yeah, name Muhammad Rafe, um, age, oh sorry, 50, and location, location, Haripur or something like that, and we can say user data here. So this is the dictionary we have, and we can also, so if we print, we can see a dictionary here. We can access the value through the keys. So I have to write here name. So I'm grabbed this one. If I write, um, if I do like 0 here, what will happen? It will throw an error because there is no key here in this dictionary. Okay, so this thing we can do in lists and maybe in tuples. Yes, we can quickly see this. If we can do this in tuple 2 of 0, yes, we can do this in tuple 2. All right, yes, we can do this in tuple 2. If we like go beyond the range, it will give error. Yes, okay. So, but we can't do this in dictionary. We can do in tuples, lists, maybe in sets, but we can't do this in dictionaries. So it's a key value pair. Dictionary is a key value pair. So you can also add another user data, something like this. For example, you can add education, a new field here, to BA or BS in computer science. So now let's have a look at user data. You can now see that we have another data here. Now it's time to loop through the dictionary. So for example, if I in user data, so if I print I, it would print all the keys of the dictionary. So for example, we can see the user data, and if I'd like call the keys here, we can see all of the dictionary keys here, and there is also a function of values through which you can see all of the values of the dictionary. So you can see all of the dictionary values here. All right. You can also look through the values of the dictionary. If you like do just look through the variable name which contains dictionary, it would by default look through keys. If you want to like explicitly want to like go through keys or yes go to threes, so you can keys here. So for example, if someone look at your code, so it would know like okay, it's like iterating through the keys. So for example, if you want to go through the values, so you can just call a function here. So here you can assume like here is a list of values, and you can see a values here. So we printed out the values here, and also uh, you can also use let me or dot items functions. Let first check what item function return. User data dot items, user data dot items. So basically it returns you a list of tuples. You can see here it returns you a list of tuples, and basically if I convert this to list, now let's check, so it would be clear. So you can see now it's basically a list of tuples. So basically if this is a list, so it means it's iteratable, so we can iterate through this. All right, so let's iterate through this one. So let's for I in this, then print I. So yes, you can see we are printing a tuple here. So I'm going to introduce one new thing. So basically, uh, you can declare here two variables like key and a value here, and you can access if you first want key here. So you are like printing the keys here. So you want to print value. So you can see now it's printing a value here too with the keys. So you can also do this thing too. And also let me also go through one more thing. Zip function. So basically zip, what does zip? Zip basically makes a tuple. Let's first use zip function here, and here we can like do this user data dot keys, user data dot values. All right. So basically it's a zip, and let's loop through this, and let's see what happened here. Print I. So you can see we are iterating through the keys and values, and let's go through this. Let's do this here, key value, and then we can also do these things, right? So you can go deeper into these things, and for more functions of dictionaries, you can like um, you can search the internet and you will get all of the functions related to dictionaries, or you can like just you can also tell to chat gpt, it would give you all of the functions of dictionaries too. So now let's look at the unpackings. So for example, if we have a tuple here, uh, this one tuple, and we just unpack this like in this way. Second, uh, T and H, for example, in order to quick. So we can like print. So for example, so 2 is centered to this one, 3 to this, 5 to this, and 6 to this. So for example, if we try to uh, assign to 3 instead of 4, then let's see what happens here. We will get an error, like too many values to unpack expected 3. So it was like it's expecting 3. It's expecting the 4 values because there are 4 in the tuple, but we are providing 3 here, so that's why it gave us a value error here. So you can experiment on your own, like in what sense it gives error. But for example, if we try with the functions to 6, let's try here. If a no sorry a is the variable also is equal to a, let's have a look. B, let's have a look. T, let's have a look at H. Yes, now we can see like um how we like successfully unpack these into the variables. If we like I add here one more, so it would give me error. Now guys, we can see some another functions here. Int, for example, int will like convert float to int, float will like convert integers to float, string will convert anything to string. Like we can see I passed the boolean here, it converted the boolean to false, but it's in string, so basically it's now a string. So we can convert bool true, and which is basically the true, so we return the true here. We can convert a list to sets. We can convert lists in a set. We can convert sets in a list. We can also convert dictionary to list. But here please notice that if we convert dictionary to list, it would convert all of the keys. uh, it will take all of the keys from the dictionary and convert this to list. So if for example, if we have a something like this, if we want to take convert all of the, no, you don't need to like pass the function here, because you can like do this and it's a list of uh, it's already a list. Let's also do this. Yes, you can see you can also do this, but it's also a list if you do a values function, if you call a values function on a dictionary, it's also valid because we can iterate through this. You can see here print I. Now let's talk more on strings. So if let's declare a dictionary here, something like this, name Rafe, or age is not 1930. So if we want to print, we can do formatting on strings. For example, we can create a placeholder here. Is a great guy who is 30, and we can do format on the string, and we need to pass a user. So let's convert this to user. So now pass a user here, and uh, it's just like this, and call name here, and then again user, and call a age here. Sorry, it's not that age. It printed this line here, and we plugged the name and age into this string at the placeholders, and these are the placeholders here. Alright, so there's another way to do this thing. Let's define a string here, just like copy and paste here, and inside here in this bracket we just say name, and copy this one, paste this one, and stay this with age. And just remember one thing, that if you're using double quote here, so use single quote inside here. Right, so x is, oh sorry, it's not x, it's a user. Yes, so it was another way of doing this. All right, if you want to like put different variables into the strings, and it's very necessary if we talk about data science. So it was a necessary thing. So let's talk more about strings. uh, Name is equal to Muhammad Akif, and name is equal to Rafe Atik. We can split these on the basis of spaces. We can split these on the basis of spaces, and after splitting these, now this, consider this as an array here, which will contain two values, one with Muhammad and one with Akif, because it separated this string on the space here, and same is the case here. So so now here is a string with the two values, one with Muhammad and one with Akif. So let's grab here one value, and just remember that the index starts with 0. So if I write 0 here, so it's mean I'm grabbing the Muhammad here, and I'm grabbing the 1 here, or maybe 0. So he grabbed 1 here. So what would be the output if uh, second second name here? So like print name plus second name. So it printed out the Muhammad Rafi here. If we want to space in between, so let's create a space. So now let's have a look at some math functions. So for example, minimum function, we just pass the list here. So it would find the minimum here. Just use max function here. It would find the maximum inside the array. So it return you a maximum from this array list here. You can also do absolute. So what absolute does, it basically converts a negative number to a positive number. Alright, if for example, if I give 90, so it's already positive, so it will give 90. If we give like negative number like 90 minus 90, so it would return a minus positive 90 here. So just go through here, uh, tell write on a map Math function in Python. List all the, so just search for this, and there are tons of functions you can use in Python. So now let's have a look. So basically we have absolute function, power function. So if you want like calculate x to the power of y, if you want to round, if you want to dive mode, if you want to calculate sin, cos, tan, async, a cos, a tan, a10 to exponent, logs, log 10, log 2, square root, seal, floor. So basically it converts to the next coming number. It's convert to the back number. These are some constants inside maths, pi, e, sin h, math h. So for example, if you want to use floor function, so what you will do is, let me just go to floor. If you want to do this, you may get an error because in order to do this, we need to import math. Yeah. All right. As math, something like that maybe, or something. Just no module name math. Maybe math. Yes, it's a module name with a math. Like we do this here, it work. No, we have to like do this math dot floor. Now it will work. All right. So for example, if 20, it would give 20. If we use seal here, it would give uh, 21 because it would give the next number. All right. So these are all the functions. Math, so sqrt, square root, example square root of 2, and square root of whatever, and we can see all of the functions here. Just let me write down all of the functions here. You can just simply see all of the functions, uh, and just let me pass to x 90 here. Y is not defined here. Where is the y? Let's send y to 90 here too. Math domain error. What is the math error here? Some functions not exist or something like that, like math.async not exist. Math.a cos. So actually, let's don't do this thing. Just you can go to the chat GPT and get all of the required functions you want here. So basically, you can apply all of the functions on the list, like main, max, absolute, and all of this stuff. Now let's have a look at lambda functions. So basically, these are anonymous functions. So let's call myfunc is equal to, and these are the one-line functions. Lambda. So here, at first you will declare a parameters here, and like you can declare more than one params, and then you will like insert this thing here, and after this you will gonna return something from this function. So for example, if we are going to return x plus y plus p, all right. So this function is taking three params and returning the sum of three params. All right. So just call this function, my function here, 1 2 3. I'm calling this function with 1 2 and 34. And what happened? 1 2 9 func. Okay, this is a wrong name. Okay, now it's correct name. All right. So we got the result of the sum. We can also like declare, call, let's copy out this here, and I'm going to add some other variable here, param here, and I can give none to this one. And now p is, all right, p is already there, sorry. So let's give this to t, and now I will not get any error now. All right. We can also do conditions in the lambda functions. Let me tell you. Let me show you this thing. Yes, I want to return x plus y. Just go on my wordings, what I'm saying here. So I am taking four params here, but I am going to return x plus y plus p if t is none. Otherwise, I'm going to return, um, for example, 100, a number, or any string here, something like none, something like this. So let's call this my, okay, my function here. So now call this with, uh, let's pass 3 to p and something like to t. Let's check what return back. So if t is none, all right. So what if t is none? So for example, if like do this thing, let's check what's else none. So if we don't pass this, what happen here? All right, all right. So for example, we pass 1, 2, 3 to this. Now t is none. Okay. If we said if t is none, then we are going to return this thing, and we are like adding this here. Or okay. And for example, if t is not none, so we are going to return this thing. So that's why when I was sending before this thing, I was getting a none. All right, because this wording here got confusion. Let's change this wording here. No, t is no more none. All right, now just check. Yes, if I pass the t value for t here, so I got t is no more here. All right, so if I pass no value here for t, so I will get the sum of these three. So this is how you can also define your lambda functions. So basically, let me explain you one more time. If this condition will be true, then we are going to return this. Otherwise, we are going to return this. So guys, now let's have a look at list comprehensions. So basically, it's a core in Python. Like more data scientists, as I being a data scientist, I use list comprehensions a lot, and it's like a quick way to create a list, whether it's set or tuples, whatever. So let's try. Let's start with the list one. List one here. So for example, if I declare list one here and I want to like fill this list with 0 to 9, what I will do is I will like loop here for I in range 0 to 10, so it will like go to 0 to 9 because 10 is exclusive here. All right, so I will, what I'll do is I will do append, and I will do here IE, and when I will do list 1, now I can see I got this 0 to 9. But in order to fill this list with 0 to 9, I like go through this. I wrote this whole function. So instead of doing this, we can do this in one line. So list 2 is equal to just define a list here, and I want x here. I want a x here in the list for x in what do you say, range function 0 to 10. So now let's have a look at 2. Yes, so I got 0 to 9, and it's like a very simple and one line function, and it's a list comprehensions. So what I'm doing is here if let me tell you, um, here I'm like looping through 0 to 9 because 10 is exclusive, and I'm keeping the x here in the list, outer list. So by doing this, what I'm doing is like I'm filling this list with the x, and as we are going to 0 to 9, so we have 0 to 9 in this list. So it's very simple. So let's jump to another example here. If I do this, if I want to like contain only even numbers, so what I will do is like want to like uh, keep x here, for then I will go through the x loop, range to 0 to number 1 to 51. So it will go to 1 to 50, and I want to take only those x whose is divisible by 2. So by this I will got only those integers which will be even. So let's have a look at list 3. Now you can see that I got all the even numbers. So what is happening? So first of all, this loop runs, then it checks for any condition in this. So we have a condition here. So if this satisfy the conditions, so if it satisfy the condition, we are keeping the x here in the list. So it's simple as that. So we can also do some more interesting things like we can like do this for so for example multiply for x in range 2 to 10 list 4 you can see. So every number whenever we will get every number, for example first of all we will get 2, so we are multiplying 2 into 2, that's 4. So we are so that's why we can see here 4 and so on. So that's it. And we can also do these things for the another sets or tuples. um, so let me define a tuple here. Here's a we have some. So here we have tuple for x in range 0 to 90. Let's have a look at t. um, let's convert this to tuple, maybe then it would may work. Yes, so we can now see it's from 0 to 90. Right, you can see here we can create tuples in these ways too. We can also create a set. Okay, let me tell you, tuples are immutable. If you can't mutate the tuple, like you can't update a tuple. All right, you can't update the tuple once tuple created. And set is basically a unique set contains only unique values. So this is the difference between two. And just now have a look. Okay, so now look at sets. So basically difference between sets and dictionaries is this, like dictionaries has a key value pair, okay, and sets also have curly braces, but it only contains one values like this. All right, okay. So now fill this what you say set as far as in range um, 0 to 50. Oh, sorry. Yes. Now you can see a set here, and it just contains what do you say unique value. For example, if I put a 0 here, let's see what happens. So for example, so what happened here is that it the loop ran for the 50 times, and you can see here we are just keeping a 0 here, and that is not a variable. So it's mean it would be constant uh, for all of the time when the loop was running. So and we can see in the set we just contain the unique value, and it just contains the unique values, it doesn't contain the duplicate values. So if we like do this thing in tuples, this is not a case in tuple. You can see a tuple will be full of all of the values. You can use range here to 90. Just convert this to tuple. It's also a tuple. You can see here it's a tuple for the 0 to 89 times. So it would be like 90 probably, yes, something like that. Now let's have a look at maps filters functions. These are core in Python. So let's have a look at maps function. So what maps function does, so basically if we pass something data like 90, 89, and we want these values mapped to like some new values based on some conditions or some operations. So we want to like convert these values to some new values. Like if we want to convert or update our list values to the new list values, so we use maps in that case. So maps and filters both returns a list. All right, so let's use a map function first. So for example call L here and call a map function. We first need to pass a function here. Just give it's a anonymous function, that's a lambda function, and just take a x1 param here. All right, and returns x into 2. And in the second param we just gave a list of whatever list here. All right, so after this we can see just convert this to list. It's already a list, but it just in Python it's abstractions. It's used as an abstraction. So if you can convert, you can see like this whole array. Map what map does is map pass the array values to this function. For example, if this function demands for two values and we have just only one array here, then let's see what happens. Sorry, we can try this on the new here. Yes. So if we have new param here for the function, now it would give error. Let's see what happened here. If it um sorry, call a list here. Yes, now it's giving us error. So basically, what happened here? Basically, map tried to map these all the values to the two, but here we are just giving one map here, so that's why it failed. If we like give two maps here, two lists here, so let's check what happened now. What happens now? So we can see now it ran successfully and it didn't throw any error now. So what it did here is like it went through the two arrays here list here, and it gave the 2 to x and 5 to y, and here we are returning like x, like 5 to the no 2 to the 4, 3 to the 6, so we are returning. So we got this here. So let's have a look at some other example like map. We want to check the maximum functions, like which is the maximum from all the arrays. All right, now give here some other arrays, and you can give as many array you want. So it depends on you. You give as much because let me tell you why you are able to give any number of lists here. So if we like convert this to list, you can see the maximum values from all of the lists. So what it does, like let me show you the max function first. You can give any value here, as much values as you want. All right. So it would give a maximum from all of these numbers. So this is a case here. We are passing all of the values. So what map is does map is passing uh, one value. It's passing one by one value from all the arrays to this function max here, and it's like then returning a result. So you can see what is a greater in 1, 56, 23, and 23. Yes, 56 greater. So we got 56 first. And second number we can see what is greater. 2, 5, 6, 5, 6, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yes, it's greater. So we got 5, 6, 5, 6. So this is how map function works. Now let's have a look at filter. Filter, what does filter is basically filters the data from the array and returns you a new array. So let's have a look at filter. Um, just pass a lambda anonymous function here, and we want x here. I want a function, for example, let's call that's x bar x in range 0 to 10, 20, for example. So I want to like clean, I want to like get only those values who are even. All right. What I will do is x modulus 2, um, if x modulus 2 is equal to 0, yes, I want to take only those values whose modulus divided by 2 is equal to 0. Okay, and here I'm passing x, then converting, oh, then converting a list, and then just print this. You can see I just filtered from this array, and based on this condition, like if the value is divisible by 2, then I'm filtering out this. So for example, if this value, if the return value would be true, what filter will does, it will take that value. If the return value would not be true, so it would like simple drop that value. It's simple as that. Now let's have a look at Python classes and objects. In order to define a class, we can go with class keyword and just define the class name here. And it's a convention here, like you always capital the first letter of your word. And here we can, like, here department, declare department. Here it's maybe mechanical. And here we can also define a functions here, like set name. Set name function, it first takes self, and second take name. Self dot name is equal to name. Define set age. First it will take self and then age. So it would, we can easily define an age, something like this. And we can just we defined our class here. We can define the person here, per s1. Like, now we are defining object of this class. So here I created a person here. Now I'm going to, so for example, if I do person road name, what I will get here is error, because I didn't set the name to the object. Let's set the name first. Uh, but let's set a name first. Person dot set name. What you say? Rafe. Now let's do again person road name. Now I will get a name here. So let me tell you one thing. You will always do self. You will always capture a self here in the class functions, and also you will do self here before the variable name here. All right. Basically, we are attaching this to that specific object. That's why we are passing self to every function, and we would like assign to some variable to that object in this way. All right. So by this thing, you can see I updated the things. And let's have a look. For example, let's now set the person dot set age. Now let's set the age, and it's 24. Now let's have a look at person dot age. It's now 24. All right. And if we define another object of this class, it would be totally different. All right. So if, for example, if you change the department for the person one, it would not change for the person two. These are totally separated. All right. So you can do these things with this person too. Blah 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 blah. So now just do more on list comprehensions, some complex things. Let define some string here: a b b c c d d e f f g g h h I. Let's here some number 9 to whatever number here is. All right. So now let's create a loop here. We want to here a plus b plus c plus d. And first of all, let's check if we can, like, add these numbers to this. No, we can't add. So for then we need to convert this to string. uh, so by this way we'll don't get any error. All right. This would probably be a string here. All right, so we are converting this to string, and let's loop for a in a, then again loop for b in a, for c in, now loop in the b. No, just change this value to first fi bi. Oh, let's di, convert this p and this fi fi for b in fi. Let's digit for d in di. All right. So integer is not alterable. All right. Let's convert this to string for demo purpose. Just, but just you can uh, leave this leave this as it is. But now I'm removing this, and you can see here our result of this a whole list. All right, and what here we are doing is like we are looping, and here we are doing something like this. Let me show you quickly here. What we are doing here is we are doing something here. We are doing nesting loops here. For example, for a in fi, then we are doing for b in fi, for c in di, for uh, d in di. All right, we are doing this complex loop here, and what we are doing is example list. Here is a list 5, for example. It's an empty list, and here we are appending list 5 dot append a plus b plus c plus d. And let's have a look at list 5, and you can see these both lists are totally same. AC23, and let's have a look here. AC23. Uh, so sorry, sorry for this. So we can so what we are doing is here, these all are the list are nested to each other. For example, so this list is nested inside this list. This one list is nested in this list. This list is this loop is nested inside this loop. Sorry, it's loop. So you can see here these both are equal. All right, so you can also do conditions here, as much conditions you want here. So for example, you can say if I want those values, if a is equal to a. All right, so you will get only those values for which a would be equal to a. So now you will only get those values which a, and a is remember a is the first letter a, and you can see all of the first letter a. All right, you can also another apply another condition here. If b is equal to I want to contain only those if b would be equal to b. So you can see the second element here, and it's b, a, b. It's a combination of b. And for example, if we, I can also, if I want to only contain if c would be maybe what we are looking di, okay, 9, and we will only loop if d would be 4, for example 4. All right, so now let's have a look. Now it's an empty list. Now we can see we would only contain only those AB94. So you can see all of the list which would have AB94. So this is a total list. So this is a very complex list comprehension. I thought you must consider this case. You may face in maybe future, or maybe in some data scientist career. So you can also do these things loops here also here. If like in some way, if a is equal to a, if for example if a is not is equal to this, then return. All right, return, otherwise go through this. So you can also do this here.